finally stopped raining. So I decided to come outside and make a little bit of a fire here and talk to you guys about something. You know how you always hear, go talk to your inner child and see what's damaged in there. And even I say it all the time, like something happened when you were a little kid and sometimes you don't know, but you apply some fears that you got from that part and, all those sorts of things, like do your inner child work and all that. And it's very valid. A lot of the times we interpret things in such a way that it's not necessarily helpful. Other times we do a good job with it. Other times it's just not the time for us to take a look at those because with the information we've got up to that point, we wouldn't be able to figure it out, basically. So a lot of the times, even if we want to work on, let's say you've got some issues around the feminine aspect, the mother aspect, right? And you keep on like stressing out, like, where is it? Why can't I get it? What's going on? Sometimes it's just not the time. And it's gonna come when it is the time. I hope it's not gonna start to rain again. And if it does, it does. I've got a hoodie. We'll just roll with it. How about that? I did ask a little bit of a break from the universe of rain, and I got it. Let's see how little that is. Let's see if it lasts. I'll talk a little about how I got it, how I fell into that place of when it came to working with my inner child, basically. Years ago, I got hit by this memory of me when I was about two and 4 months, something to that extent. Look, I'll tell you exactly how I remember it. I was very little, 2 and something. My mom gave me an aspirin. I started, now this is my memory of it, right? I started spitting blood. Sorry if it's too graphic, but it is what it is. I started spitting blood from that aspirin. I was taken to the hospital. I remember being in the hospital, asking for my dad. My dad comes in. I remember holding his hand and saying, "You're not going, because if you're going, you're not coming back." That was my fear, that if my dad goes, I like how that light goes crazy. It's probably making you crazy, but it's okay. That was my fear, that if my dad was gonna go, I'm gonna be left all alone in the hospital, and wow, my dad is gone. I don't know if you noticed so far, but my mom was already out of the picture in my mind. In my memory, my mom was not there. My dad told me, we had, what was I, 2 and something? During 86, look into Romania and the regime we were under at that time, and you'll maybe understand certain aspects why my dad couldn't stay. He had to go to work. Hospital rules didn't allow visitors, only in certain times, certain days. I didn't know that. I was 2. I wanted my dad there with me, right? My dad said something like, "Look, I'll just go to the bathroom and I'll come back, I promise." So he promised. And after, tears and begging and don't go, because if you go, you won't come back, he did eventually end up going to the bathroom. And he didn't come back. And he did come back, but those parts I don't remember them. I just remember that I told him not to go and he went. Now, I'm taking my adult mind out of this, right? The times that we were in, my dad having to probably rushing from his job, which he wasn't even supposed to leave, he wasn't allowed to, coming to see his kid in the hospital, right? Because something happened. And then having to go home, take a shower, and probably go back to work or whatever happened during that time. And my mom was nowhere to be found in my mind because what I did is the minute my mom gave me the aspirin, I blocked her off. She was no longer with me there. I remember the visitor hours during the week where I looked where there was this line of parents coming into the room. I don't remember my parents being in those lines. Now, I don't know if they were or not. I just don't remember them. Maybe I blocked them both completely because my dad went to the restroom and never came back too. So I was like, okay, my dad's gone too, everybody left me, right? So with my adult mind, I could justify that as, of course they were busy, of course, they came, they were there, but I just don't remember, whatever. Who knows? Of course they cared. But with my kid's mind, again, my mom was blocked off. She gave me the aspirin that put me in the hospital. She was gone from that memory. My dad later was gone. No idea if they came to visit me. I assume so. We had a great relationship, and I know for a fact my dad loved me and really, really wanted a little girl, and I came out. That's my memory, right? Of the little kid that picked and chose certain things from this memory to remember and to block off. Now, the real version of what happened. I asked my mom about a year and a half ago. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it's not the time. Because for some reason, I wanted to hang on to this memory until I went to my mom and asked her, hey, mom, was I in the hospital when I was like 2 and something? I remember something that, I was there and all of this commotion happened and you gave me a pill. And she's like, well, I didn't give you the pill. My sister did. My little sister did. Now, when I was a little kid, I used to always mistake them too because they looked alike a lot. So it wasn't even my mom that gave me the pill. But because in my 2-year-old mind, my caretakers are my mom and my dad, somebody that looks like my mom is going to be my mom in my mind, right? The minute she said that, I remembered. I saw my aunt giving me the pill, and I'm like, oh shit. And then before she even said it, that she was always there with me in the hospital, it started to fall back into place. Like my mom was always there. She was always like, I was sitting on the bed, laying on the bed here, being scared, looking left and right, like, where are you guys? And my mom was always here. But in my mind, I already blocked her because she hurt me, right? That's what I was thinking. And I know, again, try to take away your adult mind. That's the point of all of this story. The adult mind always finds justifications, excuses. If I were a parent, I would leave my job to go see my kid in the hospital. But if I had to be at my job again, because those were the times back then, I would probably do the same. And in my mind, I'm not abandoning my kid. I'm taking care of my kid, right? My kid is in the doctor's hands right now. They're safe. I'm going to do my thing, and then I'm coming back to see my kid. Adult, normal thinking, right? Nah, not for that kid. So we've all been there, where who knows what the hell happened exactly? Who knows if they've been there, if they haven't been there truly? But we never quite took the reality of things and how things were exactly. We took what we thought at that time was happening. And with the information that we had at that time, remember, when you're 2, you don't have your adult mind. You don't know that, there's clouds in the sky and the way that those clouds are formed, or why the wind is blowing through these leaves, and then during the autumn season, the leaves are falling to the ground. You don't know these things. You don't know shit. Mom and dad. You know certain things, but you don't know the adult mind things. My point is, try to take a look at the youngest memories that you have of yourself and start from there and go up in age and see the ways in which you blocked certain things away because your mind said, they did this to me. My mind said, my mom hurt me, she's out of the picture, she's out. My dad came, but eventually left, he's out. Maybe they were in those lines of parents, which I'm going to have to ask my mom about that, but I'm sure they were. But I didn't see them. I stopped seeing them there because they left me when I was, going through something, which I didn't even know what it was. It didn't hurt or anything. It was just I was taken from my environment, taken into another environment where I felt all of this energy, all of this commotion around me. So I was like, what the hell is going on here? Is it me? I'm in the center of all of this? Oh, shit. Of course, no. I wouldn't say that at 2. Try to take your memory, just like I did, right? And I've had it for, 30-something years. I've carried this sense of, my mom gave me the pill. She put me in the hospital. That was my memory. I wasn't blaming her for it as an adult, but obviously the kid inside of me did. So when I had this memory for so long and I worked with so many issues of abandonment, let's put it that way, that I've struggled with, I thought within this memory it was about my dad. That said, I'm going to go to the restroom and I'm going to come back, and he didn't. I thought it was about him. It was more about my mom than my dad. So it was about both, of course, but I missed the point in that. Like, I blocked her so hard that she wasn't in my memory anymore. Even as adults, we do that, where we fit certain things that it suits us at times, or our perception of things instead of just taking things as they are, taking reality for what it is. You know, our perception comes from a lot of our own traumas, our own fight with our own experiences. But if I were to take this fire as burning because it's a fire, there's wood here, there's wind, there's a flame, that's all there is to it. If I would take it as, oh my God, it feels hot, let me move in this direction or in this direction because maybe it won't be as hot anymore. And no, the fire is still going to be there. The fire is still going to be the fire. I'm going to feel different about it if I move. Go back to your childhood and start looking at those steps of inner child work if you want. But make sure your mind at that time didn't block certain things. Because again, what you know at those ages are your caretakers, your whoever's brought you to this world or whoever's taking care of you. And those usually come in the shape and form of two figures, usually. Sometimes it's one, but it carries two, you know what I mean? But we can get hurt and we can feel abandoned even for, maybe my dad just went to the bathroom and maybe he did come back. But do you think I even saw that if he did? I don't think so. Because he promised he would stay and he didn't. Of course, in my mind as a child, I would be like, you stay with me here forever. You don't move. We're absurd sometimes. See the times, the places in which you blocked certain things as a kid. And then see how those actually formed some sort of beliefs that you built yourself upon without even realizing that you did. And how you carry those beliefs in every dynamic you have, every relationship you have, everything that surrounds you. That being said, I'm going to enjoy this fire that is just a fire. It's a little hot. I'll move over to this side.